I knew something was wrong the moment my phone buzzed and her name lit up the screen. But not because she ever texted me sweet things anymore. No. What froze my breath was the first line of the message. Soon I'll dump him and take everything. For a second my brain refused to believe it. I reread it 3 times, each word slicing deeper, each second stretching like rope pulling tight around my chest. It took me another moment to realize something even worse. She sent it to the wrong person. She meant to send it to someone else. I remember just staring at the screen, the edges of my vision going blurry. The room suddenly too quiet. It's strange how betrayal sounds. It's not a scream, not a crash, not a dramatic gasp. It's silence. Heavy, breathless silence. I typed her name with trembling fingers. Me? What is this? She didn't respond. Not for 5 minutes. 10. 20. I could almost imagine her face going pale, her mind scrambling for lies good enough to cover the truth. I sat on the couch, our couch, feeling the weight of every memory we built pressing down on my shoulders. When her reply finally came, it was exactly what I expected and still somehow worse. Baby, that wasn't about you. It was about my coworker's divorce. You misunderstood. A lie. Quick, sloppy, desperate. I didn't reply. I didn't trust myself to, because a part of me already knew. The distance. The coldness. The way she guarded her phone like it contained state secrets. The sudden late-night meetings. The exhaustion she wore like a costume instead of a symptom. For months I swallowed everything. Told myself marriages have rough patches. Told myself she'd come back emotionally. Told myself real love was worth fighting for. But reading that text was like watching the last thread snap. I didn't confront her that night. Instead, I did something I'd been too afraid to do before. I started digging. When she fell asleep, I unlocked her phone using the Face ID she never updated. My hand shook so hard I almost dropped it. It wasn't fear. It wasn't anger. It was heartbreak, the kind that makes you feel like your bones weigh too much for your body. Messages with a contact saved under the name Hannah Work. But the messages weren't from a Hannah. They were from a man. I scrolled through thousands of them. Weeks. Months. Some messages were flirty. Some were things I wish I could erase from my memory. But the worst ones weren't the intimate messages. They were the strategic ones. He won't see it coming. Just keep being distant. He'll think you're stressed. You'll get half, maybe more. Once we're settled, we'll buy the house you wanted. And then the message she meant to send him. Soon I'll dump him and take everything. Everything. Not just the marriage. Not just my trust. But my home. My savings. My life. She wasn't planning to leave me. She was planning to destroy me. I sat in the dark for hours trying not to break down, trying not to wake her with the sound of my breathing shaking apart. I kept staring at her sleeping next to me. Peaceful, warm. Wrapped in the same blankets we bought together on a lazy Sunday 3 years ago. How do you look at the person you love and realize they've been sharpening knives behind your back? By sunrise, I knew what I had to do. Not scream. Not cry. Not beg. I had to be smarter than the woman who thought I was stupid. The next 2 weeks, I pretended everything was normal. Have a good day at work, babe. Do you want takeout tonight? You seem tired. Want me to pick up groceries? I'd never acted so well in my life. She didn't suspect a thing. Meanwhile, I met with a lawyer. Gathered financial documents. Pulled bank statements she had no idea I had access to. Made copies of her messages. Took screenshots. Saved videos. I built a fortress brick by brick. Quiet, cold, methodical. And she kept cheating. Kept lying. Kept thinking she was the puppet master. But the strangest part? She suddenly became nicer. Almost affectionate. Like she sensed the end was near and thought she could steer it in her direction. One night, she kissed my cheek while I was washing dishes. I love you, she said softly. I almost dropped the plate. Because I realized something right then. She didn't love me. She loved the life I provided. And she loved the idea of bleeding me dry on her way out. That was the night I stopped grieving. And started planning the finale. Her mistake was assuming I'd be blindsided. My revenge wasn't dramatic. I didn't scream or smash things. I didn't expose her to friends or family. I didn't humiliate her. No. I simply let the truth speak for itself. When she came home one Friday evening, the lights were on. I was sitting at the dining table, a folder neatly placed in front of me. Her eyes flickered with confusion. "What's this?" I slid the folder toward her. "Everything you texted him." Her face drained of color faster than a bucket leaking water. She opened the folder. Saw screenshots. Printed messages. Dates. Times. Photos. She couldn't breathe. You went through my phone?" she whispered. "After you accidentally handed me the knife you were planning to stab me with?" I replied quietly. "Yes." She closed her eyes like she was bracing for an explosion. "I can explain." "You've already explained," I cut in. "You told him you'd dump me and take everything. I'm just helping you get to the first step." I handed her a second envelope. Inside was divorce paperwork. Drafted. Signed. Prepared so perfectly she couldn't fight it without exposing her own plot. "I'm not taking you for anything," I said. "But you're getting nothing from me." "You can't do this," she breathed, panic rising. "Please listen." "I listened for years," I said, my voice steady in a way that surprised even me. "You just never realized it." She reached for my hand. I pulled away. The betrayal wasn't what broke me. It was the realization that she felt nothing while she planned to ruin me. And something inside me hardened. "Pack your things," I said quietly. "You're leaving tonight." She begged. She cried. She swore she'd change. She swore it meant nothing. She fell apart in front of me. But I had already shattered. There was nothing left for her to break. The night she left, I sat alone in the silence she created. The apartment felt bigger, colder, cleaner, but also lighter. Betrayal is strange. It hurts like hell. But sometimes it sets you free. I recorded my story that night, my real raw bruised story, and uploaded it to my small YouTube narration channel. I wasn't expecting anything. But people listened. People understood. People connected. And if you're reading this now, if you're feeling the weight of my story, help me hit 2,000 subscribers. Keeps me going. It helps me turn pain into something that actually matters. And maybe that's the real revenge. Not destroying the person who broke you, but rebuilding yourself so strongly they become irrelevant.